Mrs. Asha Mehta was 68 years old. She lived in a small town in India. Every morning she made a cup of ginger tea and sat on her wooden chair near the window. Birds chirped, the sun rose slowly, and the world woke up. But inside her heart, something was missing. Asha had retired from her job as a school teacher 5 years ago. She spent her days reading the newspaper, watering her plants, and watching television. Her husband had passed away a few years ago. Her children were busy with their own lives in different cities. Life had become quiet, too quiet. One day while cleaning an old cupboard, she found a dusty notebook. It was brown, old, and smelled like forgotten dreams. She opened it, and there it was. On the first page, written in her young handwriting, "My bucket list, visit Paris and see the Eiffel Tower. Write a book of short stories, learn how to swim." Asha stared at the list. Her eyes became wet. "When did I write this?" she whispered. She remembered. She was 25 when she made this list. She had big dreams. She thought life was long, and there was always time for everything. But work came first, then marriage, then children, then responsibilities. She always said, "I will do these things later." Now 43 years had passed. She wanted to go to Paris, but her knees hurt, and her doctor said no long flights. She wanted to write a book, but her fingers trembled when she held a pen for too long. She wanted to learn swimming, but her heart was weak. The doctor said no stress, no risk. She sat quietly. Tears fell on the notebook. "I waited too long," she whispered. That evening, Asha did something different. She took a walk to the park near her home. She smiled at children playing on swings. She sat on a bench next to a young girl who was drawing in her sketchbook. Asha looked at her and said, "What are you drawing?" The girl smiled. "A story. I want to make a book one day." Asha nodded. "I wanted that too. Long ago." The girl looked curious. "Why didn't you?" Asha thought for a moment. Then she replied, "I thought I had time. I kept waiting, but time never waited for me." The girl looked serious. She said, "You can still write, Auntie. You can tell stories. You told me one just now." That night, Asha couldn't sleep. The little girl's words stayed in her mind. You can still write. The next morning, she opened her notebook. Not the old one, but a fresh new one. On the first page, she wrote, "New bucket list. Write short stories for children. Read books about Paris. Teach a swimming theory to kids, even if I can't swim." She smiled. "I may not visit Paris," she said, "but I can read about it and imagine. I may not swim," she said, "but I can help others learn. I may not be young," she said, "but I can still live." Every morning she began writing. Her stories were simple and full of love. Stories about her school days, about kindness, about dreams. She went to the park often. Children gathered around her as she read her stories to them. They laughed, clapped, and asked for more. One day, a local teacher heard her storytelling and invited her to speak at a school. Asha said yes. Soon her stories were published in the school magazine, then in a small book. Her dream was coming true, not in the way she imagined, but in the way life allowed. She looked at her old bucket list again, but this time she didn't cry. She smiled because she had learned something very important. You don't need a perfect time. You just need to start. If you wait too long to live, time will live without you. Dreams don't have an expiry date, but time does. Life doesn't wait for the perfect moment, and neither should you. Don't wait for someday. Start today. Live while you can. Because dreams are not just for the young, they are for the brave. If you keep waiting for the right time, you may spend your whole life waiting. Start now with what you have, where you are. Because every small step you take today brings your dreams closer and fills your life with